Lita Ford, and you're listening to the Paulie Z Show. My God, this guy's got a great ass.
Yo, 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 welcome back to the Paulie Z Show. It's episode number 49. You know what that means? If you know how to do math, that is only one away from 50. Ah, that's right. That means we're getting close to the big 50. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. I definitely want to do something cool, but I'm not sure yet. So you know what? First of all, before I do anything, I want to implore you guys to email me at yopaulie@thepoliezshow.com. And I want suggestions. I want you to give me good suggestions for what to do for the 50th episode of the Paulie Z Show. Okay? And you can be traditional or you can be very out of the box. And, like if, for example, like maybe we could do the show jumping out of an airplane. And then like Alex could hold the microphone while I'm interviewing, I'm talking, and we'll be flying in the air, free falling while doing the show. See, that's out of the box, I think. Alex, would you do that, Alex?
Who's going to change my diaper?
Alex is going to need a man diaper if he jumps out of a plane. You never did that?
No way.
Oh, I did. I did skydiving twice, and it was exhilarating. And I have to tell you, the first one was the best, just the absolute best thing in the world. And then the second one was great too, but it was significantly not as good as the first one because I already did it. Does that make sense? Like, I guess like, well, I never did cocaine, but they say like that first time you do it, it's just like insane, like just paradise. And then you're always chasing that first feeling. So that's kind of how it felt for me. And, but the best part about it was the video that I got. The video is the best. You can't go skydiving without getting the video and the pictures. You got to see my afros actually coming out of the helmet that I had on. The helmet could barely keep my hair in. So I'm flying and my cheeks are like there's like air in the cheeks are like, and I look like a squirrel, like gathering nuts. Yeah. And no, not that kind of nuts. Or Paulie. Yeah. Or Alex gathering nuts. For the winter. So anyway, today we have a special guest, and it's cool too because I don't have a lot of female guests on. I've had some, but usually guy guests. And today I have Lita Ford is going to be on. Lita Ford, ooh! And the cool thing is that I got to sing with her recently, and I got to do the Ozzy part for "Close My Eyes Forever." And I think there was a little chemistry there. I got to tell you, she's looking good. Oh, she's looking good. And I think there was a little something, little something. So I'm going to see if I can get that out of her today. And who knows? Maybe this could blossom into a beautiful relationship. She'd be Lita Z. So, all right, let's see. I think we got her on hold over there. Lita, you there?
Yeah, I think so. I think I'm here.
I hope so. Well, you sound like you're there. How's everything going?
Doing very well. We're just getting ready for Christmas and getting ready to get out on the road. I think it looks like we're going to be touring a lot this year, 2011 anyway.
Ooh,
got new booking agents and a new manager, and we're just everything's new, even my underwear.
Oh, see, I like that. We get.
Yeah.
I don't wear underwear, so that it can't be new.
Oh, you don't?
Not anymore. I used to, and I stopped a few years ago. I feel much more sexy without underwear. Believe it or not.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's not good with mini skirts, though. I mean, you don't wear, you got to wear underwear with your mini skirts. I was at this show once. We played Wembley Arena, and we were opening for Bon Jovi, and I went up and jammed with Bon Jovi, and he picked me up and sort of held me, with my legs kind of up in the air. And I whispered in his ear, I went, "Put me down, I don't have any underwear on." I was just bullshitting with him. I really did. But it scared him, so he put me down real fast. But this was in front of like 20,000 people,
Yeah. Well, I think underwear on a girl, though, it's different than a guy. Underwear on a girl is hot. As long as they're not granny pants. Oh, yeah. Underwear? Underwear is sexy.
As long as the Enquirer's not there, standing there with their cameras ready, you're okay.
Right. No, no, it would just be me, Lita, just me, no one else. Uh-oh, it
You
got.
pervert.
Oh, they didn't warn you about me? Oh, I'm bad. I'm a bad boy. I'm actually really a good boy, but because I don't do I don't know, I don't drink, I don't smoke, and I don't do drugs. I've never been arrested, no tattoos, but I love food and I love girls. Those are my two vices. So you have to have something, no? What
Well,
about
that's a good thing.
what about you? What are your vices? What's your bad stuff?
My bad stuff?
Yeah.
God, chocolate. My bad stuff. I like to swear. I speed when I drive. I don't know.
Well, that's three good ones right there. Well, listen, you like to swear. You haven't said any curse words yet. Go ahead. I want you 3 seconds worth of lots of cursing.
I swear and I speak. I don't know. I'm not really. I used to be a troublemaker. I used to really, do have a lot of bad vices. But nowadays, I'm a pretty good girl. I have children, and you have to respect your children. So I try not to get myself involved in sticky situations.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but
I try to wear my underwear on a daily basis.
right. Well, I mean, but when
Right.
it's great that you were able to do have your fun back in the day, and you survived to the point where now you can be more responsible. Some people never get to that point. You know what I mean? They get a little too excessive with their vices, and they don't make it quite that far. So
I know what you mean. Well, having grown up in the Runaways days too, I just, with the punk era, it was crazy. So I sometimes I think, how am I still alive? How did I survive it? How did I make it home that night?
Right.
Where did I park my car last night? That kind of thing. It's like, wow, how did I get here?
Well, let me ask you a question. I was always curious about this. With rock stars and guys in bands and stuff, one of the major attraction of being in a band is are the groupies, having the attention from girls that maybe if you were an awkward kid in school or whatever, you didn't have that. And then you get on stage and then all of a sudden they notice you. But is it the same reverse? Like, did you guys have male groupies? And did you see them the same way that guys see girls?
Well, yes and no. We did have male groupies. We had a lot of male groupies. When we played in Europe, the whole audience was a bunch of dudes. There'd be like a big sea of denim and leather in Europe. It was pretty cool. But they treat you different than the women. I think the women groupies, they'll lift up their top and expose their boobs and. They kind of go a little crazier than the men. The men don't go as crazy as the women. They're more respectful in that way. I think they just don't want to be labeled as being sexually harassing somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
so
true.
they have a little bit more respect for you on that level.
But now, what about for you as a female rock star? Did you would you pick out guys and bring them backstage? Back in the day, I'm saying when you were young and single and free, in the top, the height of everything, all the craziness and excess, and would you be like, yeah, I want that guy, come backstage or whatever, or was it not the same vibe?
I was never really like that. I think I went out with a couple of fans just for fun, maybe once or twice. Honestly, my whole career, maybe once or twice. But I just really was never like that. I would pick out people out of the audience, not just guys, but I would pick out a group of people, and I would bring them backstage, and we would go on the tour bus, and we would hang out. I'd give them a beer or a glass of wine or something, and we would listen to some songs. I would always have new songs, demos, something to play that not everybody's heard. And we would put them on, we would talk, and I would crank the music, and then I would say goodbye. And they left very happy, They left within an hour. I wouldn't spend a long time with them. We would usually end up leaving or having to go to a hotel or something. But it was always on a friendly level. It's like, hey, you guys want a beer? You want to hear some new music?
Right.
And then that would be about it.
So not no sexual debauchery like it would be like for Motley Crue or something like that.
Not really. No, I was pretty close with a lot of the other band members. Not in my band, but other bands. I dated a lot of band members, guys, but not so much groupies. I don't know. I just feel like I have a whole different respect for my fans than just to trash somebody's sex life like that. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't think that it's a very respectful thing to do.
Did you see it? Did you see it though from like the other girls in the Runaways or stuff? I heard stories like Joan. I know I heard stories about Joan, like she would bring girls back.
I don't know what Joan did. Honestly, I never really kept my eye on what she did, but it's as far as I went, that's pretty much all I would do. But I don't know. I don't remember Joan doing anything like that.
No,
we didn't really hang out that much. We sort of saw each other on stage, and we pretty much went our separate ways.
Really?
We were traveling. Yeah.
But were you friendly though, or was there like that? When you get off stage, you kind of like, you do your thing, I do my thing, or or was it just a matter of like we were friends, but we just had different circles?
We were friends. No, we were okay. Joan and I never argued. We always had a good relationship. She was she hung out with Cherie a lot. Like in the movie, if you saw the movie, that was pretty much about Joan and Cherie, and they were good friends. And I would hang out with either Sandy, the drummer, or the bass player. So you do that. You pick your buddies.
Yeah. Well, my group is a trio, so we we don't have too much to pick from. It's like I either hang out with my brother or my drummer, and that's it. It's one or the other.
There you go. That's all you need.
Well, and here's the problem. I prefer not to hang out with either one of them. So there you go. I'm screwed, and I'm sure they'd say the same thing. So let me tell people how we actually met. We were at the Chiller Theater, which, by the way, I have to say we have a mutual friend who was one of the guys who ran that thing. I gotta say I was very impressed. I didn't know what to expect, but that was actually a really cool convention. There's a lot of great dealers for people that don't know, that was it's like a horror trade show, right? Would that be the best way to describe it?
It is, yeah. God, who was there? Who was at that Chiller show?
Well, I'm trying to think of all the names now. There was Ernie Hudson,
Bergman from Conan the Barbarian, Barbara Eden, I Dream of Jeannie.
Yeah, Peter Criss was there. Ernie Hudson was there, right?
Yeah. A lot of different artists. The guy that's actually in the Predator mask. Or was that Spooky Empire?
Oh, he was there? Ralph Macchio was there. There was a lot of those old school actors too, like from the monster movies and stuff. It was just a cool vibe. It was a really cool vibe.
I love it.
The only thing I didn't love about it was how long it took until you got on stage, because that was like,
that was weird.
God.
Yeah, well, that was okay. Kevin was jamming. He wanted to jam. Relaxed and having fun.
It was the guy. I guess he's the guy that ran it, right, or owned the show. Yeah. So
it's pretty much his gig,
So for people that don't know, he was
on Kevin.
Exactly right. So for people that don't know what we're talking about, there was a performance on Saturday night, and Lita was going to play, and this will play into the story of how we met. But she was supposed to go on at a certain time. I guess it was 10:30 or whatever it was, and the opening band was the main guy, and the opening band was the guy who ran the show. So it's his night; he can do whatever he wants. Now he's going on, and there's a bunch of bands slated to go on that night. Now he goes on, it's a half hour. It's like, okay, they're still going. 40 minutes, 50 minutes, an hour. I mean, he must have played, I think he played, no joke, an hour and 45 minutes or an hour and a half.
I I think I drank about 18 Red Bulls waiting for him. But I don't drink Red Bulls, so
Oh.
I was pretty much flying by the time I got up on the
Yeah,
stage.
we were just
But
on.
it was great to sing with you.
Yeah, well, so
That
that,
was fun.
well, that was the best part. So our mutual friend introduced us together at, at when you were signing, I guess, at your booth, and then we, for me it was a big treat because I was always a big fan, and I was like, and obviously when I was a kid, you were hot, and I always had my. I'm not going to get into my fantasies about back in the day, but anyway, I'm like, this is Lita Ford right here. And then you out of nowhere, I don't even know how that came up, but you're just like, hey, I'm I'm doing Close My Eyes Forever later. Do you want to sing the Ozzy parts with me? And I'm like, humming, like Ralph Cramden. Like, yeah, I think I would like to do that. And then how funny is this? Now we're fighting though. I know you for maybe 2 minutes, and me and you are arguing like a Seinfeld episode over who starts the song, the Ozzy or Lita. And she's like,
Right.
and I'm like, listen, it's Ozzy goes first, I'm pretty sure. And if I'm wrong, I'll take you to dinner. If you're wrong, you're going to buy me dinner. And she's like, I wrote the song. I'm pretty sure I know how it goes.
No, you start it. No, you start it. No, I'll start it. No, you start it.
It was really funny. It was like, I felt like I was in Seinfeld for that moment. And I'm thinking in my head, too, I'm like, why am I arguing with Lita Ford on her own song? And I don't, it's not like we knew each other for years and I'm like, I just met you and I'm already like, listen, Lita, I think I know the way the song goes. And you're probably, you must have thought I was a nutcase at that point. Not.
We still do.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Well, you would be accurate if you thought that. You'd be accurate. So.
Well, I like your video. The No Way Out video. I really like it.
Oh, thank you.
It's kick-ass.
Well,
it's funny.
Well, we got for those who've seen the video, the guy who plays the farmer. That's our mutual friend. His name is Chris, and he did what a great job. He's so scary looking with the shotgun and everything. And yeah, that was a fun video to make.
Yeah.
So
the Dukes of Hazzard.
Yes, yeah. And what we did was we didn't want to do it like a predictable okay, let's do it actually on the farm. Originally we were going to do it on an actual farm and go all out, and then we said, well, that's been done a million times. Why don't we just take the idea of the farmer's daughter but do it in a more interesting modern setting? And I remember Chris was telling me too, he's like, this is gonna suck. And I'm like, no, I'm telling you, it's gonna be cool. You'll see, it's gonna have a vibe. And he's like, this is gonna suck.
Well, sometimes less is more, Sometimes these productions are so extreme and they have so many different effects and people involved, and it's too much. I think less is more. Did you ever see that Whitney Houston video where she sings "I Will Always Love You"? It's such a great song, but she just sits there on a bench and she just sings the song, and then it shows a couple of clips from the movie The Bodyguard.
Yeah.
And it's so simple. It's just beautiful.
Well,
it's like nothing really happens in the video, but it says so much. It actually lets the music do the talking.
I think
instead of the video.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think sometimes that works, and then sometimes it's cool to have the cool, the big storylines. I think when you always do like a big budget thing, it can be a little overkill. The video that I was thinking about, the one with the band, I think it's Mute Math. I could be wrong, but the band that did the video where they're on the treadmills. Did you see that one?
I didn't.
Oh, you guys see, it's a really, really famous video, and I'm pretty sure it was Mute Math, and they just did, it was like the same kind of thing as the No Way Out video, where it's the camera stays still, right? So it's no cuts, it's one shot, and they kind of choreographed this routine using like 3 treadmills back to back, and they go from treadmill to treadmill, and there were like 3 guys or 4 guys, but it was amazing how they did it because they were doing these side steps and going underneath each other's legs and then crossing over in one take. Can you imagine doing that? Like a four minute thing? Oh my God, it was incredible. And that was like a big talk of the town when that came out.
I didn't see it. I got to look for it.
Oh, you'd love it. It's great. It's simple, but it's very, very effective because it's clever. That's the main thing. It's clever. So
I recently heard the soundtrack for Kill Bill. I've never heard that soundtrack before. And we walked through City Walk over at Universal Studios in Los Angeles, California, and there was this girl dancing, kind of half naked, dancing out on the pavement to this music, and I thought, what the heck is that music? That's kick-ass. And it was Kill Bill. Have you heard that? It's just an instrumental. There's no vocals.
Well, I saw
My God, it rocks.
I saw the movie, so I'm sure if I heard it, I would recognize it. But listen, Tarantino he's no joke. When like the Pulp Fiction soundtrack, yeah, that's some great stuff on there with the surf music, and like he's very eclectic.
I would love to do something like that. It's just so dramatic.
Yeah.
It's sort of like makes you want to strut when you hear it. Makes you want to shake your ass.
Yeah, well, anything that shakes your ass is always good. That's what music's supposed to move you in some way. And just to wrap up our experience. So we finally got on, and I got up there and I got to sing with you, and it was just I wanted to thank you again for doing that, because it was such a treat. And such a great song, and there's not a lot of duets. That's what's cool about it. Like I don't know if there's really more than a half a dozen duets that I can even think of in rock, or especially hard rock.
Not too many. There's really not too many. But you think of like Tina Turner and Bryan Adams, Stevie Nicks, those kind of duets.
Yeah. Well, Freddie Mercury and Bowie was a great one with Under Pressure, but still that's not hard rock or metal.
Right. Oh, but that was a great song.
I don't know that there are any others. Hold on a second. Can you think of any other duets within that genre?
Meatloaf.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. There you go. We need more duets. We should do a duet. You want to do a duet?
Sure.
Let's do one. Come on, that'll be the duet of the future. The next rock duet. We're missing.
We'll have to write it.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm skipping steps already. I'm already thinking about the video.
You're running before you're crawling.
That's right. All right. See, that's why I need you, Lita. You're going to keep my head down from the clouds. We got to write the song.
The diaper changed for you.
Ah. So wait, now speaking of writing music, I heard that you are writing new stuff, right?
I am. I've started writing, and I got some older songs that I've had for a while. So we're putting together a CD. I don't know when it'll be out. Pretty soon. It's just a matter of trying to pinpoint some studio time to get in and record. Everybody's going away for the holidays, and people are getting married, and people are out of town, and so I'm trying to pinpoint everybody, lock everybody down for the month of January, and see if we can't get in and record during the month of January.
Oh, really?
So we should have
that's soon.
something out soon.
And then you're planning to? You said you're touring, and are you doing the States or are you doing international? What are you doing?
So far, we've been talking about the States. We had some show offers come in for Australia and South America, but I think So it looks like January, February, looks like we'll probably be in the States. But this is one thing I wanted to tell you, but I don't have it confirmed. When I get these dates confirmed, I can call you back and I can update you on what's going on. We can talk about it on the show.
Okay. So you can't give us a hint even, right?
No, I can't. I wish I could. I'm dying.
Like it rhymes with... We can't play that game, right?
I'll let you know.
Does it rhyme with schmembly schmadium? Or does it rhyme with...
A schmembly schmadium. It might. Rhymes with underwear.
Rhymes with underwear. Let's see. What venue rhymes with underwear? Well,
I'm just kidding. I'll let you know.
All right, well, you got to keep me posted.
First on my list, okay?
Are you Oh, look at that. See, I'm going to get the exclusive. That's what I like. Are you is there any place that you haven't played that you would love to play worldwide?
Yeah, Australia. I've been to Australia and I've only done clinics. I've never really done a live show in Australia. I would love to.
Also, you,
I've heard that Australians are wonderful. They're a great audience. But last couple of years, I was able to go to Spain. I'd never been to Spain. That was awesome.
how do you
There's a lot of places I haven't been.
how do you
I
feel
would like
about
to go.
the difference in response? Because this is something, for the kind of music that obviously ZO2 is like, I consider as a hard rock band in the same vein as all those bands that I grew up with. And in this country, it's not really in vogue on a commercial level. There's still tons of people that's are still religious about it. But I always hear about, like, in Europe and in the UK and other territories, how they're really, really still into that style of music, and they're very rabid about it. So what has been your experience, since I haven't been over there? How could you describe to me the difference in response when you go tour, let's say, the UK, or you tour Spain, and then you tour the States? What are some of the differences there?
Oh boy, it's every state, every city is different. For instance, Miami, Florida has more of a Latino following. Then Kalamazoo, if you go to Kalamazoo, they're more into the hard rock. And then Biloxi, Mississippi is more of the Bible Belt. And then you get people picketing, saying, they're devil worshippers or something stupid like that. But everybody's so different, even from state to state and city to city in the U.S. I think the Europeans are just, it depends on where you are. If you're outside of the city, they're more hungry for rock and roll or for, something loud and heavy, as opposed to being in the city where you kind of become immune to things.
Yeah. Well, it's the same in the States, right? Same, like you play New York City and then you play like the suburb of New York. It's a totally different vibe.
Right, exactly. It really is very different. When you're right in the city, people become immune to things. They've seen it all, heard it all. It's like, wow, big deal. And then if you go out of the city a little bit, then you get these people that are really wanting to see what you can do and get into it more and make more noise and maybe have a few more drinks and go a little bit more crazy. So it depends. Everybody's different. Every place is different. Everyone has their different fixes, if you want to call it that.
Do you find like, I know in the US, like, there really you didn't really have much competition as far as great female rock stars. You know what I mean? It was like, you really were at the top of the list. And, there were other people, but, not really as good as far as having hit songs or being able to actually play an instrument. And, and the voice, it was like a triple threat. Do you find that outside the States, are there more artists that are like you, that you're like, oh, I didn't realize they were, I have more competition out here, or not really?
You mean as far as being a woman?
Yeah, like a female rock star. Not a female, not just a female artist. There's tons of female artists, but I'm saying specifically, a female who's playing hard rock, who plays an instrument. You know what I mean? Like the Vixen. Yeah. Vixen was kind of like, they were pretty big also. So, but there wasn't that many. There was only a few that were really good.
Yeah, there really isn't too many. I think there's more now than there ever was. Thank God. It's pretty cool to watch. These women evolve. But when I first started, there was hardly anybody. There was a band called Fanny, and I don't think too many people remember Fanny. Every time I mention them, nobody really remembers.
There isn't a Fanny. I've seen that. I haven't forgotten.
But
except the band.
No, not that kind of Fanny.
Oh, sorry. I got to focus, Paulie. Focus. Stay on track. Stay on track. I can't. I'm talking to Lita Ford on the phone. How can I possibly focus?
I don't know. I'll smack you around a little bit when we get off the phone here.
What? Whoa! Hey now. Wait a second. No, I think that'll make it worse.
Howie Mandel. I was in an earthquake with Howie Mandel, and I freaked out. I couldn't focus. I was in the band. I mean, we were filming the Howie Mandel show. I was in the band with Clarence Clemens, and I couldn't focus. I was like, oh my God, the room is going to cave in. The building's going to cave in, because there was these really heavy earthquakes. There were 5 point something,
Wow.
6 point. I mean, they were huge. The whole freaking hotel was swaying. All the power went out. It was really scary. And Howie Mandel says to me, "Why can't you focus? What's wrong with you? You want me to smack you?" I said, "Yeah, that probably helped."
You should have said, no, you should have said, no deal. You want me to smack you? No deal.
No deal, right?
Yeah. Wow, he did good with that, right? What a talk about retransformation. Oh, my God. Shave your head and become a TV show host for a game show.
Looks great.
He looks great, and he does a great job at it. It's so cool. Let me ask you a question. I was always curious. When you as you were coming into the music scene, and you were doing the Runaways, and then you did your solo stuff, like, was it a conscious thing to say, I want to be like the first, or one of the first female rockers, I want to open up a door? Or was that something that you it was almost like an afterthought for you? It's just like, I just want to be a musician and do the music I love and blah, 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 blah. And it just happens to be that I'm a woman. You know what I mean? Because that's totally two different mind frames and two different ways to approach your career.
I actually had in mind to be like a female Jimi Hendrix. Because Jimi Hendrix was in a 3-piece band like yourself. You know, there's no mistaking who plays the guitar or who plays the drums or who plays the bass. And a lot of the bands have more than one guitar player. And every time I was in a band with more than one guitar player, you know, like me and a guy, the video camera or the TV camera or the photographer or whoever would be at the time would always have the camera on the guy. And it would be like, wait a minute, that's me playing the solo, not the guy playing the solo. That's me doing that. So I had in mind to do like a Jimi Hendrix, female Jimi Hendrix, 3-piece, bass, drums, and one guitar. But the only problem is I had to learn how to sing lead vocals and play lead guitar at the same time, which is a whole nother animal in itself.
Mm-hmm.
So once I established that and people started recognizing the fact that that was me playing guitar and that was me doing the singing, and it was a 3-piece band, and I was able to slowly add other musicians, another guitar player, a keyboard player. You know, I never used any effects on my guitars. I always plugged straight into the amp. I didn't want people to start saying, she's just stepping on a box and she makes all that noise. She's not really playing. It's the box.
Did you get a lot of that? Did you get, like, coming up, did you get stuff like that? Like idiots that would say that?
Yeah, people make up all kinds of crap, you know. Anything they can do, they're looking straight at you. It's amazing. And they still don't comprehend the fact that it's a woman playing guitar. Now it's not such a big deal. Nowadays it's accepted and it's not such a big deal. But back then it was like jaw dropping. Oh my gosh, it's really her playing. Hello.
Right. Right.
You know, you don't need a penis to play guitar.
No, but you
can play anyway. You know.
That is true. But and now looking back, is that something that you just can sit back and say, "Wow, I can't believe like I paved the way for other people." You know, it's like not many people can say they did that.
I absolutely get that. A lot from men, from women, and it's really a wonderful thing. I'm really proud to be able to hear that. It makes me feel like I've been here for a reason on this earth, and that's my reason, is to help people help pave the way for other people in rock and roll and guitar playing, and women too. You know, open that door and get them going on that, because it wasn't accepted. I mean, the Runaways were before their time. They were teenagers, and people weren't taking us seriously. I think, the way we dressed and the way we portrayed ourselves, it was pretty hard to be taken seriously, But we were. I mean, even though I wore shorts, halfway up my butt cheeks, I wanted to play guitar. I just am the lead singer dressed in a corset. She still wanted to be a lead singer.
Right.
Even though she dressed like that, is just
Well,
part of the act.
you get caught up. Yeah, I mean, I know, like, Kiss, I think, had sort of the same problems. Like, because I know just from interviews that I've read or I've heard Paul talk about, like, or people I know that know him, that he always, I think, deep down wanted, because he was like a big Paul Rogers fan and Stones and Humble Pie and all that kind of stuff. And I think sometimes the image can get in the way of the real musicianship. Like, I think sometimes he may have in the back of his head say, if only, I wonder what it would have been like had we just gotten up there and played our instruments, And I think being a female, that's the first thing you have to overcome. I would imagine the first thing is people like, oh, that's the shtick. You know what I mean? It's like it's an all-girl band. Yeah. And then you close your eyes, or once you get past that novelty, then it's like, oh, but they're actually good songs. They can play, they can sing. But it's always getting past that first little thing, which is whatever the novelty, I guess, of it.
Yeah, I don't think it's a big deal anymore, these days.
And so you say Hendrix was one of your influences? Can you give me a couple others, that people that you just like?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I loved Hendrix. I still do. I think Hendrix, I don't know any guitar players that don't, admire Jimi Hendrix, but yeah, he created a whole era in rock and roll and music. He did something nobody else did, and there's a few people that did that, like Edward Van Halen is one.
Yeah.
He came along and created his own style of playing, and then everybody wanted to copy. Dimebag Darrell, with the raunch guitar, and Eddie with his hammer-ons, and Jimi Hendrix with his flanged phase feedbacking. He would channel the noise and use it and make it sound like music instead of just turning down the volume and saying, oh, no, that's too noisy. He would take that noise and channel it and make it into something. And that's one reason why I didn't want to use effects, because if you get the right amp and you get the right guitar and you get the right sound, your guitar is going to do that anyway. You're going to have effects naturally, whether it's feedback or some sort of a harmonic. You're going to get that anyway on guitar.
Yeah, but it's
so
just
when you do add a delay, or you do add a flanger or something to your pattern of playing, it's just icing on the cake.
Right. And well, let me ask you this, and you might blush a little bit, but and I know you're a good girl now and you're a mommy, that's fine. But back in the day, when you were a little girl and you were growing up and you're listening to Hendrix or whoever it is you're listening to, who were you a group, quote unquote, groupie for? At least in your mind, maybe not in real life, you wouldn't have. But like, who just got you like just hot? That it was like, oh my God, if I ever met him, I would lose my mind.
When I was a little girl, I really liked the Monkees.
You like the Monkees?
Oh yeah, Davy Jones and oh gosh, Peter. What's his name?
Peter Tork, Davy Jones, Mickey Dolenz, and Mike Nesmith.
Yeah.
I am a Monkees fanatic, Lita. I actually liked the Monkees before I even liked the Beatles. It was Kiss and the Monkees were my two favorite bands growing up. Can you believe that?
That's funny. They were great. They had a great record. Even Van Halen did. Hey, we're Van Halen. They even ripped off the Monkees.
Yeah, well, the Monkees were great. I mean, they got a bad rap because they didn't write their stuff, but who cares? They were like, they performed well. They were interesting. They did what they were supposed to do. But wow, I don't meet a lot of people that really like love the Monkees. I know, or at least not in the rock. It's always Beatles, Stones. Yeah. Once in a while,
like Beatles or Stones.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Black or white.
What about the Monkees, man? Oh my God, that's great. So, out of the four guys, though, who would have been the guy you would have went backstage with? Be honest.
Oh,
Be
God,
honest.
I don't know. I liked Davey.
You like Davey with the accent? He was like the short little guy. Like You like the accent, don't you?
You know what it was? My father had a very thick British accent,
Right.
and I always liked that.
Well, you grew up in London, right? Didn't you grow up there?
I was born in London, and I'm still a British citizen. I'm an American resident, but I'm still a British citizen. I don't know. It's home to me. My father being Briton and having that thick accent, it's just kind of something that attracts my attention. I like it.
So if I wanted to attract your attention, I would have to speak with a little British accent.
You have to talk like this. But then when you get stoned, you can't understand anything.
You
Like,
get a glass of water.
What did he just say?
Well, all right.
Oh my God, you have Keith Richards. You got to have the captions underneath.
All right, hold on. We're gonna play a game. We're gonna play a quick game, okay? On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna say two. I'm gonna say the same phrase, one with my regular American Brooklyn accent, and then one with a British accent. And I'm gonna make believe I'm a waiter, and you're at a restaurant, okay?
Right.
And you got to tell me on a scale of 1 to 10, on each time, how hot I sound and how attracted you are. Okay, you ready?
Right.
All right, first one. This is American Brooklyn. Like, excuse me, madam. Would you like a glass of water?
0.
Oh, 0. Damn it! I have no chance with Lita Ford because that's who I really am. Damn it! All right, all right. But now let's see. Now I'm gonna do the same thing. Now you're in Britain at the same chain restaurant. I'm gonna come over. Ready?
Okay.
Pardon me, madame. Would you like a glass of water?
Oh, a 6.
Nice.
Would you like some water? I'd love that.
Would you like some water?
There's just something so proper sounding about
Yes.
the British accent.
Oh, I love the British. And smart. There's something smart about it.
Even even in Britain, though, I mean, there's different areas of Britain that sound so different. Like if you're from Liverpool, or if you're from London, or if you're from Birmingham, it all sounds so different. It's like the East Coast accent compared to the Southern accent. It's all so different.
Yeah. Well, yeah, different sub dialects. But you know what's funny? You're half Italian also, right?
My mother was from Rome, full-blooded Roman. She had a very thick Italian accent. Yeah.
So I want to use that the combination as a segue into to the next and last section of our interview, which is the food section. Which is, if you're half British, half Italian, how was that growing up food wise? Were you did it lean more towards Italian food, or and how do you compare the two? Because I mean, Italians, obviously the food is amazing, but what does Britain got besides fish and chips, really?
Oh my God! Well, the food is pretty bland in Britain. I don't think Britain's known for its food as much as its rock and roll. I think the heavy metal, like the Judas Priests and the Rolling Stones and the Beatles. I mean, they're all British.
Oh, yeah, everyone. The Who, Black Sabbath, Zeppelin, they're all British.
Yeah,
they got the best.
Either from Scotland or Ireland or Britain or someplace out there in the United Kingdom. I think that's one thing they do have on us. Although America's got some pretty smoking rock bands too.
Yeah, no, but there's no question that the rock and roll in Britain, it's they go together. I mean but like as far as food, you really don't hear much about the food over there. So are you admitting that it's pretty bland?
Steak and kidney pie and fish and chips and the English food is very bland.
So growing up, what were you raised on? Combination of the both, or mostly Italian food?
My mom would make all kinds of stuff. She was a good cook. She would just make a combination of stuff. My father would get hungry, and my mother wouldn't be home, so he would make a plate of French fries. He would just cut up a potato and fry it in some oil and douse it full of vinegar and salt, and he would have a plate of chips.
Would you like a plate of chips?
Or he would sit down and eat a whole big bar of chocolate. I know that the Europeans really like chocolate. The great big chocolate Cadbury bars, or the Belgium chocolates are amazing. And he used to wave it in front of my face, and he would say, you can't have any of this. You're on a diet. You can't have any of this.
Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah, we'd whisk it right past me and then shove it in his mouth, and I would be drooling.
That's terrible. If you tried it, oh my God, yeah, I would have I'd tackle him. I'd be like, now let's see who's on the diet right here. Here's your diet. Oh
He
my
was skinny. He was a skinny guy. But the Italians can eat, I tell you. The Italians really know their food.
Oh yeah.
If you want to get into food, the pastas, and just about everything. Their whole day evolves around food.
I should have been. Yeah. Well, that's why Italians and Jews get along very well, because we're very much like that.
Similar. Yeah.
Yeah, similar in tradition. So what about so is there a place that you love to eat, just like a restaurant that, it could be anywhere. It could be in the States, or I like to try to preferably keep it in the States, just so that if people have a chance to go there, they can. Is there a place that you would say, oh, this is like one of my favorite places to go, and this is what I usually order?
Oh, wow. I don't know. There's so many different restaurants in the United States.
What about you're in Florida, right? Right?
I'm not a vegetarian. I'll eat. I like to eat. We went out for steak last night. We actually went to the Outback Steakhouse last night. There's a huge traffic accident, so we couldn't make it to the restaurant that we wanted to go to. We got stuck at the Outback, and it was really good.
Outback's great.
So,
Outback's
I know.
great.
Yeah.
What about like a non-chain place? Like you live in Florida, right?
Yeah.
So what about like somewhere by you that's maybe more of a not a mom and pop, but like a non-chain restaurant, or maybe like a small chain, but like more local to Florida.
Oh God, how about the Rainbow Bar and Grill?
Oh well, but that's obvious. That's like one of my favorite places to eat. How amazing is the food there? It's incredible.
They got the best chicken soup.
The chicken soup is like there's like cocaine in there or something. It's so incredible. And the filet mignon and mozzarella sticks. Have you had the mozzarella cubes?
Of course, yeah.
Oh
yeah.
my
We
God!
had just about everything on their menu. I've been there so many times. It's one of my favorite places, and the Hard Rock is good too. The Hard Rock cafes, they have quite good food.
See, I don't love the Hard Rock food. I don't love it. I feel it never impressed me. What do you get at the Hard Rock?
Making me hungry. They got good steaks. They got good macaroni and cheese. They have these quesadillas. I think it's the Steve Perry quesadillas.
I don't know if I've ever had those.
Perry. What's the singer, the guitar player from Aerosmith?
Joe Perry. Joe Perry.
Joe Perry. Oh my God, I had a blonde moment. Joe Perry has his own quesadillas that they serve at the Hard Rock, and they're really, really good, spicy. I usually end up getting those. They're an appetizer, but there's a lot, and they fill you up. So I usually end up getting those. But I always thought that they should do like a Lita Ford lasagna or something, or a Kiss Me Deadly ice cream. Or
Did you ever pitch that?
I did once, and they almost did do one in the Orlando ice cream parlor in the Hard Rock. It almost happened. The general manager was just about ready to do it, and it fell through. So I was bummed out. I was like, damn, I really wanted my own flavor of ice cream. And how cool would that be? It's like having your own airport or your own street.
Yeah, of course. Well, you know what? I think they should do like a Lita Ford dish should be like chicken parmesan or manigot and chips. See, Italian, British. You know what I mean? Like something like that. It'd be like meatballs and chips. What?
It's the bits of this and bits of that.
Yeah. Well, you have something Italian with chips, and that'll be the because like I'm half Colombian and half Jewish. So if I had a Hard Rock dish, it would be like let's see, it'd be a knish con pollo or something.
Oh my God. God. Are you pregnant?
Am I pregnant? No. Although
Like pickles and ice cream.
yeah, well, I could eat that too. Listen, I have my stomach, which I've named Quado. That's his name. Has no boundaries. I can combine
You
anything.
named your stomach?
Yeah, I named him Quado.
Did you name your penis?
No, see that shows you my priorities, right?
It does, actually.
Yeah.
Guys usually name their penis.
Yeah, no, not me. I was like, he
This is my penis, Fred.
no, what would I name my penis? I don't even know what I would. I don't know if I'd go for like a traditional American name or if I would go a little bit more exotic. What do you think? What would be good for if I had to name him?
I don't know. Something funny. Something funny.
Like, let's think.
Meat whistle.
Meat whistle. Oh, so you're not talking like real like human names and stuff. You're talking about like nicknames. Let's
Yeah.
see. I see.
I don't know. Jeez. How do you get on this subject?
Hey, listen, you took us there. I'm just
I
going
did
along.
it.
Oh,
That's
you
all.
did. I didn't say penis. You said penis.
I did. You're right.
You said it. You said what's the name of your penis or something like that, and I just went along for the ride.
Out front of the Guitar Center in Hollywood on Sunset Boulevard, they've got handprints of all the guitar players that are kind of pushed into the cement.
Yeah.
They've got all kinds of different guitar players, and they asked me if I would put my handprints in front of the Guitar Center in Los Angeles, and I said, well, I think maybe I better do my butt cheeks because I want to be different. I don't want to be like everybody else.
Did you do it?
No, well, I'm going to. I'm going to do it. It's a big ordeal. You got to get the press involved, and it's a big whoop-de-doo.
Yeah.
You don't just go there and shove your hands in concrete. It's like half the city's involved in it.
But are you going to put your butt?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's cool.
I'm going to be different.
But did you name your butt? That's the question. Have you named your cheeks?
Kiss my...
How about Hansel and Gretel? Left and right.
No, I didn't name my butt.
Why not? Let's name your butt cheek. If I'm going to name my penis, you got to name your butt cheeks.
Okay, I'll work on that. When I call you back next with some more interesting news, I'll let you know the name of my butt cheeks.
Okay, and then I'll come up with a name for my penis. And you know what my fans could do is they can email me at yopaulie@thepauliezshow.com, and they can send in suggestions for
That's a great idea.
You like that?
Yeah.
All right.
I think they should do that.
And then when this podcast airs, I'll let you know when it goes up live. I would like you then to tell all the Lita Ford fans out there to do the same thing, okay? To send in suggestions for the name of your butt. And I suggest it should be, well, I guess we'll leave it up to the fans. It could either be one name that incorporates both cheeks, or I think of it like it should be like twins. You know what I mean? Like just imagine two identical twins and give like two names that kind of mean something.
I think the girls should do the butt, and the guys should do a penis name. And then there should be a prize. Somebody should win a prize for the best name.
Okay, what would be the prize?
Girl, one for the guys.
What about well,
the cock ring, would be one of the prizes.
Okay. See, I was thinking something a little bit more intimate with the fans, like maybe we'll take them to dinner or something.
It's a Paulie Z show on it.
A pair of panties from Paulie Z, or no? But we gotta get the Lita Ford. It's gotta be Paulie Lita or something. So you have to put it on.
There you go.
Yeah, or like Paulie on the front and Lita in the back or something like that. We could do that. Well, listen, when you're up in New York again, you got to let me know because I think we should definitely go check out some restaurants in the city, and maybe that could be the prize. Maybe whoever has the best suggestion, we'll treat them to dinner. We'll take them, and they can come hang out with us or something.
You're on, Paulie.
You like it?
Sounds good.
All right.
Yes, I do.
All right. Well, listen. Let me say give you a chance to plug whatever you're going to plug before we say goodbye. Do you have any sites or anything you want to just throw out there?
Just Lita Ford online.
Is that the website though? Is it Lita Ford or is it litaford.com? What's the actual site? Hello? Hello?
Hello, I'm sorry I can't come to the phone right now, but if you leave your name and number after...
Hello?
Hello? I don't know what happened.
Oh, it's okay. Well, we were at the end anyway, but it got cut off when you were doing your plug. So, what? Just let's try that again. I was just gonna start over, okay? So before we go,
Oh, yeah, Lita Ford online, right? Go ahead, ask me.
okay. So before we head out, are there any plugs that you want to throw out there to my legions of fans around the world?
Oh, yeah, actually, if everybody checks out Lita Ford online, they'll be able to see what's up and coming as far as music and tours. I have a beautiful website that's brand new that just got started in October. So please check out Lita Ford online.
Okay. Well, there you go. Check it out, everybody. And
.com.
.com. That's the main thing. You got to make sure you throw that in there. Okay. Well, thank you so much for being on the show, and I hope you had a great time. I was great for talking to you. And
thanks for singing with me.
oh, anytime. Oh, we gotta work on our duet now. Okay, I'll start.
You rock.
Yeah. Well, what? Maybe it could be about naming body parts or something.
I think Howard Stern did that, didn't he?
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe. All right. We'll figure something else out. A little bit more deep.
Name food.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Maybe we could do like some sort of food duet, but use food.
Fight.
Yeah, food fight. That would be cool.
Yeah.
All right.
We used to have some great food fights in the Runaways days.
Let's get cracking on that. That'll be the next the duet for the next generation. Sounds good?
Cracking. Let's do it.
All right. Let's get nut cracking. Ba-boom. Psh. All right. Well, thank you so much, and we'll touch base again, and hopefully you'll have some more news for us. Okay?
Absolutely.
All right. I'll talk to you later. Thank you.
Speak to you soon, Paulie. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Oh man, she's cool, and she's hot. She's still hot. I know because I was there. I was right next to her on stage, and yeah, she still got it. You know, some people were hot back in the day, and then they don't take care of themselves, but she's doing a great job. So yeah, I hope I look that good when I get old. If I ever get old, who knows? I might wind up choking on ribs one day, God forbid. But it'll be like I'm 35 ribs down, and I'll be like that 36th one, and I'll be just like, blah, and then croak. Let's hope that doesn't happen. What are we gonna do? Okay, well let's see. I have maybe just like under 10 minutes left. So what I'm gonna do is a quick review of two steakhouses. I'm gonna do not really a review, but I'm going to pit them against each other. Okay, I went to two steakhouses recently with a very lovely companion, and one place is called Ruth's Chris, and the other place is called Porterhouse. They're both very fancy schmancy restaurants in New York City, and interesting results actually. Let's get into it real quick. Okay, so let me first tell you what I got at Ruth's Chris. And this is between me and the date that I was on. I'm going to tell you all the stuff we got because you know me. My fork found its way to her plate for every dish that she had. I had to taste it. So at Ruth's Chris, I got we started out with two different salads: the Ruth's chopped salad and the Harvest salad. Both were very good. Thumbs up on that. I also got a crabtini, which was basically just like fresh crab in a martini glass. It was more of a novelty, but it was good quality crab. So I say you can get that if you like crab. That was good. And she got filet mignon medium rare, and I got cowboy ribeye medium rare. And the sides were cream spinach and mashed potatoes. Okay, so here we go. The cream spinach was good. Definitely you can get that. The mashed potatoes were terrible. It's the only thing I have on my list of things not to order. The mashed potatoes were so bland and so texture-wise were just so they weren't like fluffy or creamy or anything. It was just very, very bad. I don't know how you can fuck up mashed potatoes, but they found a way to do it. So I wouldn't get that. The filet mignon medium rare, and the cowboy ribeye, which, by the way, cowboy ribeye is just the ribeye steak with the bone. And that, to me, added a lot of extra flavor. But both those steaks I thought were outrageously good. They were just incredible tasting. Texture was on point. The filet was super, super soft, but it had a great flavor. It just wasn't like, for me, I don't like when I eat a steak and it tastes like just meat. Like if someone just put a piece of meat on the grill, even if they cook it right, I'd want some sort of flavor, some personality. Lita was talking about the Outback, and what's cool about the Outback, even though it's, we're not talking like super fine dining, but for the level of restaurant that it is and the caliber of food, they do everything great because they have a certain signature to their seasoning. All their stuff has that like, Australian Outback spice, whatever is what's the word I'm thinking of? Representative of that culture or of that area. And it gives it personality, because then when you go to another place and have a steak, maybe let's say a Mexican place or a even Italian, they have different seasonings. So for me, the seasoning, whatever it was, and I'm sure it was probably pretty simple, but I thought they did a great job because it had a great flavor and the texture was perfect. The first bite, the whole steak was great, but those first couple bites into that cowboy ribeye were what I call mouth sex. So I would highly recommend that. And then we finished off with, we shared apple tart and bread pudding. Both of those were good. The bread pudding, I think, was also had like a whiskey in it or something like that. And, I'm not an alcohol drinker, but if it's in food, I don't mind. Those were both good. Now, let's go to porterhouse. So the porterhouse, interestingly enough, to me, was not as good. Certain things were not as good and certain things were great. All right, well, first of all, I ordered arugula salad for appetizer, and she got the steak tartare. And a same lovely companion friend, by the way. And the steak tartare was ridiculous. That was really good. Very fresh, probably the best steak tartare I've ever had. That was very, very good. A good portion, too, a nice chunk of meat. And the arugula salad was good. Very fresh. Salads, you'd be surprised. Salads can be good and salads could be great. And they're usually great when they're fresh and it's not over. They don't overdo it with the dressing. Like they toss it more and the dressing kind of it complements the salad, but it doesn't overpower the salad. That's the big difference. So and especially if the lettuce is crisp, it's not like been laying there. It just feels alive. So this salad was very good, very fresh, very happy. It was a happy salad. And then we got so here's what we did. To compare, we got the same exact order. She got the filet mignon and I got the cowboy ribeye. And the sides were Brussels sprouts and truffle mashed potatoes. Now the Brussels sprouts were great. As just roasted, but they were, again, fresh, good texture, good seasoning. And the truffled mash, those were delectable. The truffle, anything with truffle is amazing, but that I highly recommend. That was that's the way mashed potatoes should taste. But funny enough, the steaks, I didn't like either steak. It's not that they were bad. It's just I wouldn't order them again. The cowboy ribeye, first of all, the texture of the ribeye was much tougher than the one at Ruth's Chris. So for me, I don't like that. I don't want to have to dig in or put pressure when I'm cutting. I want to just cut through it and fall right off and melt in my mouth. And this one, I kind of, it's like a little bit of effort to chew it. And and it was medium rare too, so I was a little surprised at that. And it's just the flavor for both steaks were just on the bland side. I don't know. Maybe the cook is British. Who knows? Maybe he's from England, and he's just like, I like everything bland with a side of water. But yeah, that's my critique. I just thought that I wouldn't pay for it. I wouldn't recommend anyone else to get it. I don't know what their other steaks are like, but again, not bad, but just I wouldn't get it. I didn't think it was very flavorful, and I would say go to Ruth's Chris if you're going to spend the money. But on the other hand, the mashed potatoes, big difference. And then for the dessert, we shared espresso puffs, which are called I forgot the name of it. There's a word for these like little ice cream sandwich puffs. Something with a P. I keep forgetting. Anyway, whatever it's called, they were okay. The ice cream I thought was average, and I wouldn't get it because the actual pastry part was kind of hard. I don't know if it was stale or if it was maybe just frozen from the ice cream, but I felt like it should have been soft, like a croissant. And the ice cream I thought could have had a little bit more flavor, so I didn't like that. So anyway, if I had to pick, Ruth's Chris definitely wins over Porterhouse. I would go there. The Ruth's Chris steak, I gotta tell you, was one of my favorite steaks I've ever had. That was a great experience. So I would highly recommend going there. And if you do go to Porterhouse, I don't know, try it, the ones I said, or maybe try the Porterhouse. Maybe I should have got the Porterhouse since that's the name of the place, or the Strip or whatever. But, try it and let me know what you think. All right, this is just what I think. All right, so anyway, that's the end of the show. I hope you guys had a good time. It was a pleasure for me having Lita on the show, especially because we don't have a lot of female guests. There's not that many to choose from, at least in the rock world. So it was really nice to have her on there. And here, let me give you the plugs real quick. Paulie at thePaulieZshow.com is the email if you want to let me know. Give me some suggestions for names for my penis, and just remember that I would remember we're talking about my package, which is not to brag or anything, but it's a gift from the Lord. Yes, well endowed, So you got to think of names, you got to think of names of that have grandeur and bigness, like maybe Conan. Conan would be a cool name for my penis because Conan the Barbarian is my favorite movie. But I'll let you guys decide. Anyway, and give me some. I would love to hear some suggestions for Lita Ford's butt. I want to name her butt cheek. And let's see. You can go to thePaulieZshow.com and see our brand new website, which is so pretty. And iTunes. You get us the show on iTunes for free. And you can also go to ZO2.com if you want to find out more about my band ZO2. And my Twitter is twitter.com/ZO2Paulie. And, you can see more. That's where you can get all day-to-day, up-to-date kind of stuff of what I do. Okay? So anyway, guys, thanks again for joining us. And next episode is the big 50. I'm so excited. I can't believe we actually did 50 freaking episodes of this podcast. I mean, it went from an idea to a reality in just 1 year. And I'm just so excited. And we're going to try to do something really, really cool. And email me also, and I would love to get suggestions of what you guys would think would be a really cool way to celebrate the 50th. And you can be as out of the box as you want, and we'll try our best to make it happen. But give me some suggestions, okay? Because we'll probably do that in the new year, which means I won't see you guys again for a little bit. So if we decide not to do it now, we're still debating. If I don't see you guys or talk to you guys again, I should say, until the new year, well, then I want to wish everyone a happy holiday and happy new year to you guys, and we'll revisit this later. But if we decide to do it before the 1st of January, well, then just disregard the last 20 seconds of what I just said. All right? Because then I'll do that again in the next episode. All right. Well, that is it. I will talk to you later.